Hi guys, back for another process video. I promise at some point I'll add a different kind of video, like a haul or a craft room tour or I don't know, something else because my daughter says I have to. But this is a process video. Basically, that picture I showed at the beginning is my daughter. She has modeled in the past. She hasn't modeled too much recently, but she is what they call a curve model, or plus size model, I guess is what you might, the official or more common layman's term, whatever they call them, curve models, basically because she's, size 8, 10, whatever she wears. And actually, she's gotten a little thinner since then. But anyway, she was part of a campaign out of New York entitled Curves Be Real in 2016 or 17. I don't recall now. I'd have to go back and look. And I'm not looking at the layout, so I forgot the date on there. But anyway, this was one of the photographs that the photographer took for the campaign. And the purpose of the campaign is to celebrate basically beauty in all shapes and sizes and forms and that sort of thing. And I thought her pictures just were just stunning. I loved them. They were all in black and white. And this was one of my favorites, mostly because of the expression on her face. She's just beautiful. So this collection is Simple Stories I Am. They do have multiple collections with I Am as I guess, the theme or the title or whatever. And they all tend to be in the same color families with slightly different, maybe patterns or the stickers and that sort of thing will be a little bit different. This one is, I actually think it may be a collection, two different ones that I've combined together here, but because you may have noticed at the very beginning, I am down to basically scraps and one full-size sheet of paper. So that's all I have left of these collections. I just love them. I think I may go looking this year at Expo or a convention and see if I can find some more because I do just love them. And anyway, so I had this one 12 by 12. And to be honest with you, I thought when I did this, I might have used a sketch, but I went looking and I pull all my sketches off my Pinterest boards, and I didn't find any sketch that was anywhere close to this. So maybe I didn't. I may have actually did this on my own, which is not completely out of the ordinary, but a little bit because I do like to, I'm a bit lazy sometimes and start with sketches and I find them inspiring. So, anyways, um, I love that pattern paper with the black kind of background with the words in it, and then those gorgeous florals on top. I really just love those. And so I know I wanted to have that as a bigger photo mat, but then after I put the picture on it with its small white mat, I was thinking I needed to um, put something else in between. So I pulled out that kind of yellow diagonal there to create another photo mat, and I'm going to mat the double matted there on top of that floral with a little bit bigger mat, and I think it's a 1/2 inch mat, I think, overall, um, because I do just love that paper. It is just so pretty. And so I'm going to make that a little bit bigger photo mat. And of course the photo is the star of the show here, so that's going to be kind of centered off center to the left just a little, and then the upper left corner a little bit. Now I had these two pieces of tissue paper on my desk, and it came from, I was cleaning out a drawer or something. I got to be at my butt to clean something, and I had a little baggie or kit or whatever of, I feel like it had to have come from some kind of workshop or grab bag or something because it looked like there was a tag in it, and you can actually see the tag in the upper frame there. And then on that cat. And I apologize. It looks like I'm beating her to death, and I promise I'm just barely nudging her away. But I've sped this up to about 300%, so it looks very aggressive, and it's not. Anyways, I had those tissue papers in that little grab bag. I feel like maybe it was intended for cards or something, but anyway, they were in there, and they were laying there, and I go, "Oh, look at that! Those colors look really great." So I tore the tops off. I wanted a little bit. That cat. Now I had to pick her up, put her down. Anyway, I put them underneath the floral paper because I thought it was just kind of a pretty. It's gold and teal, and I thought, oh, those look really good together. And then I thought, okay, I'm going to put the photo on some foam. And as I mentioned, I really don't have much left, so I got these two sticker sheets. You can kind of see the collections. Like one of them has Dreamcatcher, little bicycle and that sort of thing. And then the other one's more butterfly related, but they're both simple stories I am collection. So I'm sure if you go look and I might do it. I don't know. We'll see. Put links in there, but it's two different collections, but they again have similar color palettes, so they're very easily used together. Um, what I kind of imagined was that gold heart is pre-printed on that 12 by 12 bold black and white stripe there. And what I imagined was creating a border out of that. Because one of the tips for using pre-printed pattern papers or a pattern paper with a pre-printed like image on it is to incorporate that as if it were part of a cluster or border or something. So in my head, I'm going, okay, I want to make this heart part of a border along the bottom down there. And then, of course, I have these interesting little camera and the floral and that sort of thing that I want to put up by the photo. And I know I want to entitle this I Am because along the bottom you'll notice I have amazing and dream big. In the border, I've used wax paper. Great tip. I'm sure if anybody's seen anything I've recorded before or many other great YouTubers, the wax paper is a great tip. So I've put them on there because I know I want those words down there. And the whole point is to say, I am amazing. I am dreaming big. And I don't remember now if I have any other words in there, but there's definitely some words to be incorporated. And then I want the title, honestly, in hindsight now, I wanted the title at the bottom of the photo, and now I'm almost a little bit sad maybe that I covered up the bottom of the photo, but maybe it's okay. Because I do love how it looks. I love that photograph. And I'm sorry for the glare on the top of it. It's I have a great little pinch or clamp light but it's a little bright sometimes. I'm going through the 3x4 journaling cards. No, they're not 3x4. They're 2x3 that come in actually they were cut aparts. That's what they were. And then there's also some 2x2s or is that right? Yeah, there's some 2x2s or some 3x3s. There's all kinds of great little um, words and images and stuff that you cut out from some cut apart sheets in the collections. I've already cut those before because I have been trying to make my way through this collection. And I went through looking and I found that one that says I am. In my mind, I'm going to put the date and location and um, kind of journal just a little bit. And then I also have these great little, yeah, these ones are 2x2. So I found fabulous, right? So it's I am fabulous. And then I see strong, which I just love. And I'm going to use that one. And again, this is all part of building that border at the bottom. And that one, I'm not actually sure what it says if I use that. But anyway, so I'm kind of laying these out, figuring out where do I want these. Oh, perfectly imperfect. That's what it was. Perfectly imperfect. Um, Creating these little um, clusters, I guess is what you call that, of cards. I don't know. Um, and then I know that I've got, some of these stickers I want to use, right? So I'm going to arrange all these together. I want these to make kind of a neat looking border. So I put the strong, I had it in the middle, and then I go, no, that's a little too heavy for the middle. So I switch out the strong and the fabulous. And then, of course, there's this little circle heart or circle sticker with I am and a little heart. So now I have strong, amazing, fabulous, dreaming big, perfectly imperfect. Um, you kind of get the idea from those things what this collection is really kind of about. It's basically to celebrate who you are and maybe what's going on and life in general, I suppose. I like the ampersand. That does end up on here, ends up behind, I think, amazing, just to give myself some interest back there. I like the heart arrow, the arrow with the heart in it. I ended up finding another heart, or excuse me, arrow that I use going the other way. Here we go. And you'll see I'm fleshing out this border down there. I'm really liking how that's turning out so far. Find another floral. It's again, this is the other collection, so they're slightly different, but still similar. Building out those florals around the photograph there. And I'm going to look through the stickers quite a bit because I just, like I said, I'm trying to fill this out, make it look interesting. And then I decide I'm going to ink the edges of the papers. I tend to do this. I think many people do. When you get a little bit stuck on a particular thing, you go looking for something you know you wanted to do. Oh, I found I Am Wonderful as a like a little tickety looking thing. It was a horizontal element that I needed. So yeah, I'm going to use this distress ink. It's in black to forget the actual. It's Tim Holtz, but I can't remember the exact name of the color, but it's definitely the black one. Going along and inking all the edges here to give them a little dimension, a little distinction. And of course, I'm going to piddle poot around with these stickers and these little elements here. But again, I want to create this horizontal border using that gold heart as the aligning or the starting element. So, and then I also want to create a little bit of dimension. So some of these are going to go down right down on the paper, and then other pieces are going to be popped up on some foam. So I'm just starting with my flat pieces, and then I'm going to come back here and you'll see I've got the little foam using my goopy scissors. I really appreciated this campaign. My daughter, I'm not going to suggest to you that she was bullied mercilessly necessarily as a young kid. Probably not much more than pretty much any other kid, to be honest with you. But she was called Chub Chub. She was called Gorilla Girl, stuff like that. Because my daughter is 5'10" and a half, 5'11", um, and solid as a rock. She always played soccer and that sort of thing. So she was never the really slender, skinny girl with the blonde hair. She has red hair. So she was always a bit unique. And I think kids as a whole like people and other kids to look and act like them. So when you don't look and act like them, they find ways to make sure you know it. So for her, modeling actually it was a bit of an accidental thing. We did her senior pictures for high school, and she just really enjoyed the experience. And somehow, some way, she started talking to a friend about modeling, and the friend happened to be what they call straight model, which is the real slender kind. And she turned her on to an agency, a boutique agency out of Dallas, and they signed her as a curve model. And she's actually been she's contracted out of New York and LA, and she's done a few little jobs. She says she's never going to be a professional in the sense like she's not going to make her living at it because you do have to live basically in LA or New York, and she's not going to do that. But she's had some pretty hot, big names that she's done, and it's really helped. I mean, honestly, when she started doing it, she's made to feel beautiful, and it's not really about the exterior, but it does give you some confidence when you realize, it's okay to be different. It's okay to be not the same as everybody else. And in fact, many times as a model, they celebrate those differences. They want you to have a little unique feature or something going on. So for her, it really helped with her confidence. And again, not just about the looks, but just knowing that it's okay to be different, I think. So this campaign was awesome because again, she's not a teenage little girl, but it was awesome because she could be celebrated for being who and what she was and the size she was and all that. So she really does photograph very well. I love making scrapbook pages about her because I always have so many pictures from all the professional shoots she has done, and they're always good because they're professional, so they're great. Um, you see me dinking around with these stickers here, trying to make them look just right, and putting the puffy pieces on the puffy ones and um, foam, that sort of thing. I like that little plaid heart. That's really pretty. And I'm really kind of happy with how this is coming together. I really enjoy this little border that I've made. I think it's interesting. There's all different little elements pointing this way and that. And then I'm going to put my Dreaming Big and I'm going to add some foam there. I'm doing it off camera because honestly, I stick the roll. I have one of these really big rolls I buy many times from the convention. You'll go and there's these big rolls. They're $14 or whatever. Well, I stick them in my lap and then cut while they're in my lap. And I don't know why that's a habit I've developed, but that's what I do. So it sits in my lap and I cut it. Um, and so that's why you can't see because it's off camera. All right, those are the tweezers that I have lost, and I'm so sad about it because they are great. They're little angled tweezer things, and I was packing for a crop. I mentioned this in another video. I don't know if it's going to go before this one or after this one, but um, was packing for a crop, and I had stuck them in this little bag thing that tumbled over. Of course, I knocked it over. It's just what I do. I'm clumsy. I'm the clumsiest individual on the planet. And I knocked them over and they went flying and skittering, and I don't have any idea where they are. And it makes me a little sad because I really like those tweezers. I need to go looking again. Maybe I can find them if I crawl around on the floor or some, I don't know. So I have a different pair that I use now that are actually really sharp on the end, and they're great, but they're not angled, and I've poked myself several times. Y'all, crafting supplies can be dangerous. I mean, have you ever burnt yourself with a hot glue gun? I'm just saying. Okay, so I'm going to attach these little pieces of tissue paper here, which I'm a little surprised I'm using the ATG gun because 9 times out of 10 I tear stuff up with that on the little tweezers. But oh, maybe I gave up. Nope, I got it. Cool. And okay, so I'm arranging my photograph here. Yeah, managed to goop that all up. Then okay, yep, I gave up on the ATG on the tissue paper and used some liquid glue. I was thinking in my mind I had to give up on that because that just wasn't working well. All right, so I'm going to slip that up underneath there, and that looks pretty good. My little journaling card, perfectly imperfect. So again, I'm going to write the date and the location, and then I'll write basically that it's Curves Be Real. So if you're ever interested, you can go check it out. It's curvesbereal.com. And they do, like I said, I cannot remember now if every campaign's like once a quarter or once a month or something, but they'll pick a model to celebrate and all the pictures I think are about that particular model. That like I said, I think it's that month, maybe it's that quarter, um, and they're really interesting. I think I'm almost certain they're always black and white, and they're always this kind of serious model look or something. I don't know, but anyway, um, I thought it was a great campaign. I really enjoyed that she got to do that. All right, so I managed to. Oh, so what happened with this is the photo was layered, it had those multiple layers with that tissue paper, and then I had this other piece of paper. Well, when I tried to lay that perfectly imperfect, it just wasn't laying straight. It wasn't laying flat rather. But I didn't, it didn't need enough depth that it needed foam because I really still wanted it under the picture, but it needed something more than just being flat. So I ended up cutting that strip of paper there that I didn't really care for the pattern into multiple pieces. And then I just layered them on top of each other and glued until it was just the right height. And so, okay, I'm just gluing that down. So now when I go to put the perfectly imperfect on there, it now lays flat, which is nice. That's what I wanted. As you can see those layered papers down there. All right, and then I tuck that up underneath the photograph. And now I'm going to work on this cluster on the right-hand side. So again, I have this title, I think I mentioned earlier, I may be a little bit sad I covered it up, and then the other interesting thing that I'm not sure that I love that I did in hindsight is I let the bottom of it kind of hang off a little bit, but it really wasn't enough to add foam tape. So the letters are just a hair off, but I didn't put anything to hold them up there. So I'm hopeful that over the years and inside the my photo album, they don't end up somehow folding down in there. I checked it not too long ago and it looked okay, so we'll see. Um, I do add a little foam tape to the back of that camera because it was definitely going to fold down. It looked funny. Of course, I had to trim it because I didn't make it quite short enough. Lost. Ooh, trying to run away. And it didn't stick real good, so. Okay. I thought the camera was a great element just because, of course, it's a photo shoot. And there we go. Now I'm going to add my florals. Those do tuck underneath there. I think I still have a floral to add to the upper left corner. Again, these are two different collections, but because the color palettes are so similar, they look good together. I did have to hold that down just a moment just because the glue needed to dry. There we go. Got the other floral in the upper left corner there. And I think I had to add a little bit of foam underneath it because, again, there's a little bit of dimension there. And, yeah, I have to add a little glue, my art glitter glue, rather. Okay, I think I'm just kind of going through at this point and adding my little finishing glue touches so things don't fall off. I will need to trim that strong little card there because it's hanging off on the side. So I'll trim that. I think I'm looking at the word stickers now on the sticker sheet to see is there anything I want to use there because there's still quite a few stickers left. And in fact, I need to kind of go back and look at that sticker sheet. I might need to I need to look at those again for some other layouts. All right, so I trimmed off my strong on the left-hand side over there, and I'm looking at the layout, trying to decide, do I want a splatter? Do I want enamel dots? And I pull out these enamel dots. These are not from this collection, but they're, of course, the colors are similar, which is what you're looking for, duh. um, oh, yes, and I found these, so Becky Bidding on her channel had used these metallic paints. I'm sorry, I'm not looking at the name of the lady that makes them, but they're off of Etsy. And she really bragged on these metallic paints because they have a little bit of dimension. And when you sprinkle them, if you kind of give it a little bit like bigger blobs or whatever. So I thought, okay, I'll try these metallic paints here. I bought them. They're really pretty. Now, I think this is the first time I actually use these things. And so I'm trying to figure out how much water do I need. I've got this little watercolor pen. Or it's not a pen, watercolor brush thing with water in it, and you like squeeze it. Trying to figure out how much I need to make it work. And I think that turned out pretty cute. I like that. I need to use those more often too. I've pulled it out a couple of times, but they're really pretty. All right, I'm back. I still need to glue my camera back down. That little pooter doesn't want to stick. So let me try again. I'll get that to stick eventually. I don't think I'm giving it enough time to dry is my problem. I need to press that down and give enough time to dry. Got a little bit of watercolor on my picture, so I rubbed it off. Okay, let's count to 10, right? In the meanwhile, I will pull out my enamel dots. All right, so I have these colors that match this color palette here with this collection. Look at me struggling with that little guy. He doesn't want to come off. So I'm just going to put 3 of each of the little sizes. I'll end up building a little. Look at that. Y'all, I'm the clumsiest creature. Maybe my camera's dry now. I can do this. All right, let's put another couple of dots. I'm going to figure out which ones I need to do different sizes of. I know some people mention they have trouble with the big ones. I don't really have trouble with the big ones as long as I have a medium and a small to go with it. And then I'm going to put that one over there. I don't know that I use a big one though. Nope. Another little tiny one. And another little tiny one down there. All right. I really like how that border down there turned out. It's really interesting and fun. Oh, got to glue some stuff down. Got to do those finishing touches. And then I managed to get some on the outside of this journaling card. It's okay. You can rub it off. All right. And y'all see I've got paper cuts. I got Band-Aids, so apologies for that kind of gross looking fingers there. Oh, I take my Muji pen and I do run an outline on the outside of the base page here. It just contains the layout. Probably didn't have to do that, but I liked how it looked. That is going to be the same pen that I end up journaling with. And brought that all the way down there. I think that looks really cute. It's kind of casual, but fits in with the very whimsical feel of all the border things down there. And yeah, this is when I thought it looked like it was 2017. So this is where I'm writing. What did I write there? Times Square? I don't even know. I'm not looking at the layout. So writing my my journaling there. I think I still got a little bit of that paint on the picture. I'm actually really pleased with that. You can see the picture really good there. That's me worrying about that title. All right, that's a little fast, guys. Sorry about that. I'll have stills at the end here. There you are, and hope you had a good time watching that and listening to me ramble. Like and subscribe and all that good stuff. Have a great day. Talk to you soon. Bye.